I joke that my husband's only accomplishment is marrying me. I left and regret it. The night it happened, I'm standing in the dining room of our renovated craftsman home, surrounded by the ambient chatter of my colleagues and their partners. The soft glow of the Edison bulbs hanging from our exposed beam ceiling casts everyone in a flattering light. I'm wearing my new midnight blue dress, the one Ethan said made my eyes look even greener, and holding a half-empty glass of Cabernet. I scan the room, thinking, this dinner party is actually going perfectly. My boss Martin is here with his wife, and the VP of marketing from our firm is laughing at something my friend Jenna just said. Everything is going according to plan. The careful plan I've been orchestrating for weeks to position myself for the upcoming promotion. Ethan is nowhere to be seen, probably hiding in the kitchen again. He always gets quiet at these work functions. I take another sip of wine, feeling the pleasant warmth spread through my chest. Where's that husband of yours? Martin's wife asks, appearing beside me with an empty wine glass. I haven't had a chance to chat with him yet. I tilt my head toward the kitchen, probably refilling drinks or something. That's his comfort zone at these things. He seems like such a sweetheart, she says, and I feel a flash of irritation. Why can't people see beyond sweet when they look at Ethan? My husband is nice, reliable. But in a room full of ambitious marketing executives, he might as well be invisible. What does he do again? I remember you mentioning he works with computers? He's an engineer at Hammond Tech, I say, the words feeling flat in my mouth. Hammond is a small, stable company, nothing like the dynamic global firm where I've been climbing the ladder. Is he enjoying it there? She asks, her politeness feeling like pity. That's when I say it. Oh, you know, I sigh dramatically, raising my voice just enough to catch the attention of the nearby circle that includes Martin and the VP. Ethan's greatest accomplishment in life is marrying me. Several people laugh. I feel a rush of satisfaction as Martin chuckles and raises his glass in my direction. Then I notice the silence behind me. I turn around to see Ethan standing in the doorway between the dining room and kitchen, a tray of filled wine glasses balanced in his hands. His face is completely expressionless, but his eyes, I can see it instantly. His eyes look like I've just slapped him. Drinks, he says quietly, placing the tray on the table with careful precision. I open my mouth to say something, to laugh it off, to include him in the joke, but nothing comes out. I think, it's fine, he knows I was just being funny. But the coldness in his gaze tells me otherwise. Excuse me, he says to no one in particular. I just remembered something I need to take care of. He walks out of the dining room, and I hear the front door close a moment later. Men can be so sensitive, I say with a forced laugh, but the joke falls flat. An uncomfortable silence settles over the group. Maybe check on him? Jenna suggests, raising her eyebrows at me. He's fine, I reply, waving my hand dismissively. He probably just went to pick up more ice or something. Let's move to the living room for dessert. But my hands are shaking slightly as I lead everyone out, and I can feel a tightness in my chest that I try to ignore. 3 hours later, I'm standing in our empty house, the last guest having left 20 minutes ago. Ethan never came back. I grab my phone and text him. Where are you? Kind of rude to bail on our dinner party. I stare at the screen, waiting for those 3 dots to appear. Nothing. I call him, straight to voicemail. Seriously, Ethan? I mutter, tossing my phone onto the couch. It was just a joke. I'm loading dishes into the dishwasher when I hear the front door open. Relief washes over me, followed immediately by irritation. Where have you been? I demand, not looking up from the silverware I'm arranging. You left me to host the entire dinner alone. I went for a drive, Ethan says. His voice sounds different, flat, controlled. I turn around, dropping a fork with a clatter. For 3 hours? My boss was here, Ethan. The VP of marketing was here. Do you have any idea how that made me look? Ethan stands in the kitchen doorway, his tall frame blocking the light from the hallway. He's still wearing his blue button-down and dark jeans from dinner, but his hair is slightly windblown. In the 7 years we've been together, 5 of them married, I've rarely seen him truly angry. He's the calm one, the steady one, the one who smooths things over when I get worked up. But right now, his jaw is set in a way that makes me pause. How it made you look, he repeats slowly. That's what you're worried about. I cross my arms. Well, yes, these people determine my future at the company. Having my husband disappear in the middle of dinner isn't exactly professional. And publicly declaring that your husband's greatest accomplishment is marrying you, is that professional, Mia? I roll my eyes. It was a joke, Ethan. Everyone laughed. I didn't. Well, maybe you need to lighten up a little, I snap, turning back to the dishes. You know how these events work. A little self-deprecating humor goes a long way. It wasn't self-deprecating, Mia. It was deprecating me. I slam a glass down harder than I intended. God, when did you get so sensitive? It's not like I said anything that wasn't. I stop myself, but not quickly enough. Ethan's eyebrows rise slightly. True? Is that what you were going to say? I just meant. I know exactly what you meant. He turns away. I'm sleeping in the guest room tonight. Ethan, come on, I call after him, but he doesn't turn around. I'm left alone in the kitchen, surrounded by the remains of my perfect dinner party, thinking he'll get over it by morning. He always does. But he doesn't. The next morning, I'm sitting at our kitchen island, nursing a cup of coffee and scrolling through my phone when Ethan comes downstairs. His face is impassive as he pours himself coffee in silence. Are we going to talk about last night? I finally ask. What's there to talk about? He doesn't look at me. You made your feelings pretty clear. It was a stupid joke, I say, setting down my phone. I didn't think you'd take it so personally. Ethan finally turns to face me. Do you actually believe that marrying you is my greatest accomplishment? I hesitate a second too long. Something in his eyes dims. He nods slowly, as if confirming something to himself. Wow. I didn't say that, I backpedal. You're taking this way too seriously. What would you say is my greatest accomplishment, then? His voice is quiet but intense. I open my mouth, then close it. My mind races through his career at Hammond. Solid, but unremarkable. The volunteer work he does teaching coding to kids on weekends, nice but hardly groundbreaking. The half-finished novel he's been working on for years, still just a dream. See, he says, reading my silence perfectly. You can't even think of anything. That's not fair, I protest. You do lots of great things. Name one that you actually respect. I feel my face flush with anger. Why are you putting me on the spot like this? It was just a stupid comment at a party. It's never just anything with you, Mia. He sets his untouched coffee on the counter. Every comment, every social interaction is calculated. I used to admire your ambition, but lately, I'm just collateral damage in your climb to the top. That's ridiculous, I say, but the words sound hollow even to me. Is it? He shakes his head. I'm going to stay at Jake's for a few days. I need some space. Space? I stand up, panic rising in my chest. You're leaving because of one joke? It's not about the joke, Mia. He looks tired suddenly. It's about what the joke revealed. 2 hours later, I'm pacing our bedroom, phone pressed to my ear as Jenna listens to my rant. He's being completely unreasonable, I say, kicking aside a pair of Ethan's running shoes. It was one comment, one, and now he's taking space. What does that even mean? Do you want my honest opinion? Jenna asks. Of course, I reply, though I'm not sure I do. That comment was pretty harsh, Mia. Everyone in the room was uncomfortable. I stopped pacing. What? It was funny. People laughed. They laughed because it was awkward and they didn't know what else to do, Jenna says gently. And then when Ethan walked out and you just dismissed it, I think you might have hurt him more than you realize. So you're taking his side? I feel betrayed. I'm not taking sides. I'm your friend, which means sometimes I have to tell you things you don't want to hear. I sink onto the edge of the bed. It wasn't that bad. Imagine if he had said that about you, Jenna says quietly, that your greatest accomplishment was marrying him. How would you feel? I go silent, the hypothetical scenario playing out in my head. The humiliation, the dismissal of everything I've worked for, the feeling of being reduced to someone's accessory. I need to apologize, I finally say. That might be a good start, Jenna agrees. That evening, I'm standing in our living room staring at the typed text I've composed but haven't sent. I'm sorry about what I said. Please come home so we can talk about this. My thumb hovers over the send button when I think, no, that's too impersonal. Instead, I call him. It goes to voicemail. Ethan, it's me. I wanted to say I'm sorry about what I said at the dinner party. It was a stupid thing to say. Please come home so we can talk about this properly. I miss you. I hang up, feeling both virtuous for apologizing and annoyed that he's making such a big deal out of this. 3 days pass with minimal communication, just short texts from Ethan. I need more time, and I'll let you know when I'm ready to talk. On the fourth day, I'm sitting in my office at work when Martin stops by. Everything okay at home, Mia? He asks, leaning against my doorframe. You seem distracted. I plaster on a smile. Everything's fine, just focused on the Thompson pitch. Good, good. He nods. By the way, I wanted to mention, Ethan seems like a really solid guy. My wife was telling me about the coding program he started for underprivileged kids. Pretty impressive. I blink at him, confused. How did your wife know about that? They chatted at the beginning of your dinner party before you made that joke. Martin looks uncomfortable now. Anyway, just wanted to check in. Let me know if you need anything. After he leaves, I sit frozen at my desk, thinking, Ethan talked about his volunteer program with Martin's wife, and I didn't even know about it. And why is Martin bringing this up now? That night, I'm curled up on our couch scrolling through Instagram when I see it. A post from Jake's wife showing a group at what looks like a bar. Ethan is there, smiling, his arm around the shoulders of a woman I don't recognize. The caption reads, Welcome home dinner for Lisa. So glad to have our friend back from Seattle. My stomach twists. I click on the woman's profile, Lisa Chen. She's beautiful, with dark hair and warm eyes that crinkle when she smiles. According to her bio, she's a children's book illustrator who just moved back to the area. I scroll through her photos, my anxiety growing with each swipe. There are several old pictures of her with Jake and his wife, and Ethan. Pictures from before I even met him. She's an old friend, maybe more. Without thinking, I text Ethan. Having fun reconnecting with Lisa? His response comes quickly. Don't do this, Mia. Do what? I'm just asking a question. You're checking up on me through social media and making insinuations. Lisa is an old friend. A friend you never mentioned. I've mentioned Lisa many times. You just never listened. That hits me like a punch to the gut. Have I really been so self-absorbed that I don't even remember the people important to my husband? The next day, I'm standing in our kitchen preparing an elaborate dinner, Ethan's favorite pasta dish, a bottle of the Cabernet he loves, cheesecake from the bakery down the street. I think this will fix things. He'll come home, see the effort I'm making, and we can put this behind us. I text him, I made your favorite dinner. Can you please come home tonight? I really want to talk. His reply is gentle but firm. I'm not ready, Mia. I need more time to think. I'll stop by tomorrow to pick up some clothes. I stare at the message, then at the elaborate meal I've prepared for no one. Anger bubbles up, hot and immediate. I grab the wine bottle and pour a glass, gulping half of it down. Fine, I text back. Take all the time you need. Clearly, your old friends are more important right now. I regret it as soon as I hit send, but it's too late. The message shows as read, but no reply comes. The next morning, I wake up with a headache and an empty wine bottle on the coffee table. I check my phone. No messages from Ethan. I shower and dress for work mechanically, thoughts racing. Maybe I've pushed too far. Maybe I should give him the space he's asking for. But as I'm about to leave, I hear a key in the door. Ethan walks in, looking tired but composed. He's wearing clothes I don't recognize. New jeans, a gray Henley that brings out the blue in his eyes. Hey, he says simply. Hey, I reply, trying to keep my voice casual. You look different, he shrugs. Needed some new clothes. An awkward silence falls between us, something that's never happened in our relationship before. Are you coming home? I finally ask. Ethan closes his eyes briefly. No, not yet. I came to get some more of my things. Fear grips me suddenly. Real fear, not just annoyance. How long is this going to go on, Ethan? It's been a week. I don't know, he says honestly. I'm trying to figure some things out. What things? How to punish me more for one stupid comment. His expression hardens. This isn't about punishment, Mia. This is about me finally recognizing a pattern that's been going on for years. What pattern? I demand. You don't respect me, he says simply. You never have, not really. And I've been telling myself it doesn't matter, that I can live with it, but I can't anymore. That's not true, I protest, my voice rising. Of course I respect you. You respect my ability to support you, to be there when you need me. But you don't respect me as a person with my own goals and accomplishments. That's ridiculous. Is it? His voice remains calm. When was the last time you asked me about my writing or came to one of the coding showcases for my students? When was the last time you bragged about me to your friends the way you expect me to brag about you? I open my mouth, then close it. I can't remember. I'm applying to graduate school, he says suddenly. What? When did you decide this? I've been thinking about it for a year, he replies. But every time I tried to talk to you about it, you changed the subject or told me it wasn't practical. I feel the ground shifting beneath me. I didn't. You did. And I let you because somehow I'd convinced myself that your dreams were more important than mine. He walks past me toward the stairs, and I stand frozen, unable to find the right words to make him stay. 2 weeks later, I'm sitting in a coffee shop across from Jenna, who's looking at me with concern. He's really moving out? She asks. I nod, staring into my untouched latte. He signed a 6-month lease on an apartment near campus. He got accepted to the graduate program. And you're just letting him go? I look up at her, tears stinging my eyes. What choice do I have? He won't listen to me. I've apologized. I've tried to show him I care, but he says it's too little, too late. Jenna reaches across the table to squeeze my hand. Have you actually asked him what he needs from you? I blink at her. What do you mean? I mean, have you asked him directly what would make him feel respected and valued by you? I haven't. All my apologies, all my gestures have been about what I think should fix the problem, not what Ethan actually needs. That night, I'm standing in the doorway of our home office, watching Ethan pack his books into cardboard boxes. His movements are methodical, precise, just like everything else he does. Can we talk? I ask softly. He glances up, then continues packing. About what? I step into the room, perching nervously on the edge of the desk. About what you need from me to fix this. Ethan stops, setting down the book in his hand. This isn't something you can fix with one conversation, Mia. I know that, I say quickly, but I need to understand. What makes you feel disrespected? What do you need to feel valued? He looks at me for a long moment, as if gauging my sincerity. I need a partner who sees me, really sees me. Not just what I can do for them, but who I am and what matters to me. He picks up the book again, his worn copy of The Great Gatsby. I need someone who believes in my dreams as much as I've believed in theirs. I do believe in you, I whisper. No, he says gently. You don't. You tolerate my interests because they don't interfere with yours. That's not the same thing. The truth of his words hits me like a physical blow. I've been so focused on my own path that I've treated Ethan like a supporting character in my story, not the protagonist of his own. I want to do better, I say, and for the first time, I truly mean it. I think you might, he acknowledges, but I need to do this for me now. I need to focus on my goals without worrying about whether they fit into your vision. 6 months later, I'm walking across the university campus, my heart pounding. I haven't seen Ethan in person for 3 months, though we've had sporadic, increasingly civil text exchanges. I spot him sitting on a bench near the English department building, reading. He looks different, more confident somehow. His hair is shorter and he's wearing glasses I haven't seen before. Ethan? I say as I approach. He looks up, surprise crossing his features. Mia, what are you doing here? I sit beside him, leaving space between us. I wanted to see you, to tell you something in person. He closes his book, giving me his full attention, something I realize now he always did, even when I rarely returned the favor. I read your short story, I say, the one that got published in the New Yorker. He looks genuinely startled. You did? I nod. It was beautiful, Ethan. The way you captured that father-son relationship, the complexity of it. I swallow hard. I'm so proud of you. Thank you, he says quietly. I should have been reading your work all along, I continue. I should have been supporting your talent the way you always supported mine. He doesn't disagree, which hurts but feels honest. I also talked to Lisa, I add. His eyebrows shoot up. You what? I reached out to her. I wanted to understand. I don't know, the parts of your life I missed by not paying attention. And what did she tell you? That you were the one who encouraged her to pursue illustration when everyone else told her to get a real job. That you read every draft of her first children's book and helped her find an agent. I pause. That you do that for all the people you care about. see their potential, and help them achieve it. Ethan is silent, his eyes fixed on mine. You did that for me too, I continue, and I never did the same for you. I was too busy competing with everyone, including my own husband. Mia, no, please let me finish. The divorce papers came yesterday. Pain flashes across his face. I'm sorry. I didn't want it to end this way. I know, I say, and I don't blame you. I just wanted you to know that I understand now. What you said about me not respecting you, you were right. I didn't see you clearly. I was too focused on my own reflection. A gentle breeze rustles the leaves above us, and for a moment we sit in companionable silence. How's the program going? I finally ask. His face lights up as he tells me about his classes, his writing workshops, the teaching assistant position he's been offered for next semester. I listen, really listen, perhaps for the first time. That's amazing, I say when he finishes. You were always meant to do this. I think so too, he agrees. Then, hesitantly, how are things at work? I give a small laugh. I didn't get the promotion. I'm sorry. Don't be. It was a wake-up call I needed. I look down at my hands. I've been thinking about making a change. Maybe starting my own boutique agency, focusing on clients I actually believe in. You'd be good at that, he says, and I can hear the genuine encouragement in his voice. We talk for another hour, easier, more honest communication than we've had in years. As the sun begins to set, I know it's time to leave. I should go, I say, standing up. Ethan stands too. It was good to see you, Mia. You too. I hesitate, then add, I meant what I said before. I'm proud of you, Ethan. Your accomplishments are your own, and they're significant. I'm sorry I didn't see that before. He smiles, a real smile that reaches his eyes. Thank you. I watch him walk away across the campus, his steps confident, his future bright, and I realize that his greatest accomplishment wasn't marrying me, it was finding the courage to leave when he needed to. Now I'm sitting alone in what used to be our house, surrounded by memories and regrets. I've signed the divorce papers. Our home is up for sale. My joke cost me my marriage, but more importantly, it revealed the truth about who I was and who I want to become. Sometimes you have to lose everything to see what was really there all along. Ethan deserved better than what I gave him. And though it's too late for us, it's not too late for me to learn from my mistakes, to understand that real love isn't about what someone can do for you, but about seeing them for who they truly are and helping them become their best self. That was always Ethan's greatest accomplishment, seeing the best in others, even when they couldn't see it in themselves, even when they couldn't see him.